Alright, this is for Algebra 2. We do have a quiz coming up over some sections in Chapter 4, so this is a good review for you for this quiz. First, we need to be able to graph an equation in this form. This is vertex form. You should remember this formula. Y equals A x minus h squared plus k. You need to know that form. This is vertex form. The vertex of your parabola is at hk. Got to remember that. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to identify the vertex first of my parabola. So the vertex is at hk. It says x minus 2, so your h is positive 2. This says plus 5, so your k is plus 5. Remember, you can think of it like this. That minus 2 with the x means that you go to the right 2, and this plus 5 at the end means you go up 5. So think about right 2, up 5, that is where the vertex is. And you'll see I have a point here at 2, 5. Now I want to identify some things about this vertex. Number one, I want to know if it's a max or a min. To determine if it's a max or a min, we look at the value of a. And a here is 2, which is positive. A positive a value means you open up and your vertex is down here at the bottom. It is a minimum. Your domain is all real numbers. All of them are. And the range, the y values, since you open up, the y's are all greater than or equal to that bottom point, and the y is a 5 at that bottom point. So these are the important parts that you have to be able to identify. And now we continue on with our xy table. I'm going to put that right here, excuse me. Right down here. The vertex goes right smack dab in the middle, and now I need 5 total points. So the next point I choose, I pick an x value of 3. And then I plug it in. F of 3 equals 2 times 3 minus 2 squared plus 5. This comes out to be 7. 3, 7 is on my graph. The other point that I know from that is also 1, 7. That's on my graph. 3, 7, 1, 7. And now I choose another x value, and I choose 4. Plug it in. This is going to be 13. So 4, 13 is on my graph, and I know another point, 0, 13. And again, sorry about this. This is going to be way up there. So 4, 13 is somewhere up here. 4. And 0, 14, somewhere up here, who cares? And there's your parabola, opening up. Okay? So you need all 5 points. Vertex form. 2. If I give you a graph, can you find the equation of the parabola? This again is in vertex form. Y equals ax minus h squared plus k. What do they give you? Well, look at these points. I'm going to put them in blue. This is the point negative 4, 2. And this point right here is the point 0, negative 6. This is your vertex, and this is just some point. The vertex, remember, is hk, and this is some random point xy. Look at your equation. Y equals ax minus h squared plus k. I have 4 of those letters, hk, xy. Plug them in. Negative 6 equals a is the only letter I do not have. 0 minus negative 4 squared plus 2. Notice what I'm going to do. This turns into plus plus. Negative 6 equals. I'm going to add 0 and 4 and get 4. I'm going to square 4 and get 16 and put that in front of my a. 16a plus 2. Now to simplify, I will subtract 2 from both sides. Negative 8 equals 16a. I will divide by 16. You can use decimals or fractions. These are both divisible by 8. So you actually get 1/2, and it's negative 1/2. This is your a value. So your final answer is this vertex form, y equals ax minus h squared plus k, but you replace a, h, and k with what they are. Y equals a is negative a half, x, now it would be minus negative 4, but it turns into a plus 4 squared, and the k is 2, so it is a positive 2. And that is the equation that we are looking for. 3. A model for a company's revenue from selling software package is R equals negative 2.5 P squared plus 500P, where P is the price. What price will maximize revenue? Find the maximum revenue. This equation is in standard form. Y equals AX squared plus BX plus C. Our Y is an R and our X's are P's. So notice, what do we have? A in front of P squared is negative 2.5. B in front of P is 500, and there is no C, so C is 0. They want to know what is the price that will maximize the revenue. This is a vertex problem. Your A is negative 2.5. That means your parabola opens down. The maximum is the vertex. The X is your price, and the Y is your R. The first question is, what is the price? That's X. The second question, find the revenue. That's R. This is your X. That's your Y. Find them of the vertex. Well, to do this in standard form, we use this X equals the opposite of B over 2A. The opposite of 500 is negative 500. 2 times negative 2.5 is negative 5. And when you divide those, you get 100. And this is your X, which is your price. So the price is $100. And now they want to know, what is the maximum revenue? Well, plug 100 back into the equation. R equals negative 2.5 times 100 squared plus 500 times 100. And we get negative 2.5 times 100 squared plus 500 times 100. And we get 25,000. And this is your revenue. So your revenue is 25,000, and that's money, dollars. Revenue is how much you're making. So that is a straight vertex problem. Find the vertex. Alright, next, we're going to solve this system by graphing, okay? So we have a quadratic in standard form, and we have a linear equation. I'm going to start with the linear equation, and that'll be in red. I'll do it in orange on the side here. So the equation is y equals 2x plus 1. This is slope-intercept form. The y-intercept is your b, that is 0, 1. So on my graph, I will go up 1. And then my slope is 2. Make it a fraction. 2 over 1, which means up 2 and to the right 1. And I would suggest you count this a couple times. Up 2 to the right 1. Up 2 to the right 1. Up 2 to the right 1. And connect it as best you can. You can even go down. There. It's got to be a straight line, nice and straight. And now let's do the other quadratic in blue, and I'll do that down here. I didn't leave myself a lot of room. Y equals x squared minus 2x plus 1. This is standard form. Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. I'm going to scroll down. Your a is a 1. Your b is a negative 2. And your c is a 1. So the first thing you're in charge of finding is the vertex. X equals the opposite of b over 2a. The opposite of negative 2 is positive 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Your x is a 1. The y is then found by plugging x back in. Plug 1 in, so we have 1 squared minus 2 times 1 plus 1. 1 squared minus 2 plus 1 is 0. So your vertex is the point 1, 0, and I will graph that. And now we're going to sketch the parabola. To do that, I need 5 points. Okay, so let me get my XY chart over here. And again, I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. XY. The vertex goes right in the center, 1, 0. Let's plug in 2 now. Y equals 2 squared minus 2 times 2 plus 1. That's 4 minus 4 plus 1. That's 1. So 2, 1, and 0. 1 are on my graph. Let me graph those. 2, 1, and 0, 1. And look at that. There's one of the points. 0, 1. That's where they cross. I got 1 so far. Good. Let's try the second set of 2 points. 3. Plug in 3. Y equals 3 squared minus 2 times 3 plus 1. 9 minus 6 plus 1 is 4. 3, 4 is on this graph, and so is negative 1, 4. And I'll graph those 2 points. 3, 4, and negative 1, 4. And now this is tough, because it is going to cross again, and again, you won't have this on your, but if you draw your parabola as best you can through those points, again, it'll be a little more clear for you, but the other point that they intersect on is right there. And that is point 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And again, on the quiz, as long as you graph it correctly, they should connect. You shouldn't have to try to find it like that. But since I'm leading you through it, that's the answer. Okay? So graph the line right, graph the quadratic equation right, and find where they cross. All right, good deal. I did not put one of the inequalities on here, but remember, if you have 2 inequalities, you just simply graph the parabolas and shade. And typically it's in between the 2 parabolas, one opening up and one opening down. So that's all the graphing. So I think we're pretty good at that, so we should be fine. It's the factoring we need to make sure we focus on. Okay, I have 5 factoring problems here. I'm going to walk through with you. Okay, first we're going to take a look at this problem. 14y squared plus 7y minus 21. I see a 14 here, so I need to look for a greatest common factor. And there is one. 14, 7, and 21 can all be divided by 7. Y squared y, no y, so no variable, so we pull a 7 out. That leaves me with 2y squared plus y minus 3. And now since I still have a here, I have to follow the AC method, which is 2 times negative 3, which is negative 6. My b is a 1. So I'm looking for the factors of 6. 1 and 6, 2 and 3. Since AC is negative, we're either a plus minus or a minus plus. B is positive, so the bigger numbers are positive, the smaller numbers are negative. 5, 1. There's my b. So I'm going to put x's or put y's here, and I need to break this apart. 2y squared minus 2y plus 3y minus 3. So I rewrote what was in the parentheses, but I broke apart the middle term. And now I look at 2 terms at a time. 2y squared and 2y share a 2y. The first thing you're left with a y, and then since I took this entire thing away, I put a minus 1 in its place. The plus sign comes down. 3y and minus 3 share a 3. The y is left over, and since I take the 3 away, we leave a minus 1 in its place. And what do I get? Well, I get y minus 1. It goes away both times, and the second parenthesis is 2y plus 3. And don't forget, if you can remember, that 7 has to come down. 7 times y minus 1 times 2y plus 3. I need to stop the video now because I have to go somewhere, but I'm going to finish these on a separate video. So make sure you watch both.